Welcome back to Fast Money. The NBA season kicked off with a bang last night. The Brooklyn Nets beat the Golden State Warriors 125-99 in the first game of the season. But with no fans in the stands looking likely anytime soon, the league is looking at new media strategies and sports betting to fill the gap, and they aren't the only league doing so. How could that look? Our next guest has some ideas. Let's bring in Paul Rabel, founder of the Premier Lacrosse League. Paul, great to see you again. Of course, the PLL just merged with Major League Lacrosse. You say that this provides a singular destination for fans. I would imagine this gives the sport an advantage as well in terms of selling itself, whether it be media coverage or streaming rights or any other kind of rights to carry the games.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to be back. Happy holidays. I think with niche sports in particular, the ability to coalesce and have a singular message is important. And for us, when we look at future road to profitability and just larger revenue, looking at the commercial opportunity of bolting on now, entering our third season, 20 years of pro lacrosse history, that's looking like close to 4,000 hours of 20 years of games that the MLL played that we could provide in a streaming service package, as well as part of the announcement, we said that we're going to expand to an 8th team, which is additional commercial assets in market now. And as we continue to grow, we'll catch up to the legacy leagues.
Hey, Paul, it's Dan. Great to have you back, bud, and congrats on the deal.
Thanks, Dan.
Quick one for you here. You guys, you had that bubble season this past summer, very successful. It was all over NBC, all their properties, that sort of thing. Obviously, no fans. How important was the sports gambling integration? You guys had done a deal with DraftKings. Did that help engagement? And do you see that as a really important part of the offering, the media offering going forward?
Yeah, it's huge. A lot of the sports properties have learned that we need to be more nimble and not as reliant as, call it, Major League Baseball or the traditional path to building a sports league on ticket sales. The NBA, which you referenced, Mel, is we're typically relying on 20 or 30% of their revenue on tickets. We're looking at a modern sports age where it's media rights, sponsorship, now sports betting, merchandise. In many cases, the EPL leapfrogs ticket sales. And on the sports betting front, Dan, we did a deal with DraftKings last year, and it was huge. I think what the sports betting, the gaming operators are looking at now is live broadcast, live odd integration. And we're seeing networks now cut deals with gaming operators. If you look at ESPN and DraftKings or NBC and PointsBet, so the properties are going to wedge their way in. That's part one. Part two is, I think in 2022, I don't think it'll happen in 2021, we're going to start seeing the entrance of bio data related to players. So wearable technology like Whoop on players, that being integrated to the broadcast experience, leading to more viewership and a larger handle. Sports betting in October had $3 billion legally registered. So we'll see that number continue to grow and more league revenue opportunity and more network revenue opportunity into 2021.
Wow, that's quite a figure in terms of sports betting for October. Paul, always great to see you and get your thoughts.
Thanks.
Paul Rabel, happy holidays. Tim Seymour, you like the betting franchise?
I do, and I like what Paul has to say because he's giving us also a bigger picture look at sports media. And the sense here is that the engagement factor of which, look, a lot of the networks are struggling with, whether it's linear TV, especially though, and I think sports is an opportunity to really get the engagement going again. He's talking about metrics related to players and being able to actually get deeper into the underlying participants, but also just the odds and the sports betting that keep people glued to the screens. Question is, who wins? And I think there are new kings, or ultimately a changing of the guard. Certainly is going to include some of the biggest streaming companies in the world, and not necessarily some of the legacy players. Although, let's face it, Disney and NBC and Comcast, certainly our parent company, are in as good of a place as most of the legacy players. But again, watch YouTube, watch Amazon, and I think you're going to reset the sports media world.
Nadine, is sports betting investable for you?
It is, and I liken it to something like the cannabis stocks, whereas I don't have to be participating in the underlying product, but I can like it and invest in it. And here what you see is just the new generations and the way that people want to spend their time and spend their money is just different from decades ago. Yep. And so I got to agree with Tim here. that it's a place you want to be invested. We've been invested around the world in various stocks. And so I like what I hear is that I don't have to watch lacrosse, but I totally get engagement. And I get the fact that you can make money from different sources that probably have incremental profits that are more attractive than maybe even your underlying business.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.